Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day to all of you. So for today, we'll move on to the next topic, which is still in the topic of Islamic equity, which is Shariah compliant securities. So basically, in this topic, we'll discuss on the screening methodology for Shariah compliant stock, yes, Shariah screening of stock in Malaysia, and also the fit justification for Shariah benchmark. So basically, this one is what is being adopted by the Securities Commission of Malaysia, okay, where they identify Shariah, where they identify stock which is considered as a Shariah compliant stock. So how they identify, how SAC identify whether this company or this stock is Shariah compliant or not. So by this methodology. So please bear in mind that we have a few methodology to identify the stock is Shariah compliant. For example, we have a Dow Jones, we have AOFI. Okay, each of these institution adopt different method of calculation on how they identify on how they determine this Shariah compliant securities. But for today, we only will discuss on the National Shariah Advisory Council of Securities Commission on how they identify this Shariah compliant stock. All right, so what is a Shariah compliant stock? So it is a securities share of a company listed on the stock exchange classified as Shariah compliant for investment purpose. Okay, the major business and income generating investment activities or the company must comply with Shariah principle. So this one is the main idea on how to determine the Shariah compliant stock. So this one you can see here is a list of Shariah compliant securities by SAC of SC. So you can find this list. Okay, SC will produce this list twice a year. Okay, you can see as at 25 May 2018, or you can also you can also view it, or you can also check it by the end of Friday, by the end of month May and also November in the year. So by Friday end of the month of May and Friday in the month of November, KSC will produce this list Shariah compliant securities. So you can see here the total numbers of Shariah compliant securities and overall securities. Okay, we can know the percentage of Shariah compliant securities over the total number of securities that we have in Bursa Malaysia. So this one is quite not updated lah. It is from 2018. So you can search for 2021 as well. Okay, so Shariah screening stock in Malaysia. Currently, there is no international Shariah standard for stock screening. Different fund or fund manager utilize different standard based on the Shariah Council. And in Malaysia, we have the list issued by the Securities Commission, Dow Jones, RHB Islamic Malaysia Index, and FPM Shariah Index. Okay, at the international level, we have Dow Jones Islamic Market Index, FTSE Global Islamic Index, and S&P Islamic Index series. So this one is a different approach compared to SSC of Malaysia. All right, so we will move on. Okay. Okay, so Shariah screening of stock in Malaysia apply additional criteria to company which is involved mixed business. So for example, company activities comprise both Shariah permissible and non-permissible activities. That one will be the not problem, but that one will be the discussion on about, okay, when we have the mixed activities in the company. Okay, the analysis is done at the holding company, subsidiary company, associate company level. So we have different stage of company. We have the HQ, okay, the father and the mother, and then the children, the subsidiary, and also the associate. Okay, and then we will look on the core activities first. Okay, the core activities must not against the Sharia principle. That one will be the main idea, or the main that you have to bear in mind. The core activity must be a permissible activities. Okay, and core activities of the company are important and of public interest, maslahah to the Muslim ummah and the country. Haram element is small compared to core activities. For example, the subsidiary of the company actually is providing non-Sharia compliant. So subsidiary of the company is contributing a very small amount of Sharia non-permissible activities. And then proportion of haram element is small. Matters such as umum balwa, due to this umum balwa, which is we cannot avoid it. All right, uruf, custom, and the right of non-Muslim community, which are accepted by Islam. Okay, and then SSC also put an element of public image perception of company is good. Okay, later on we will see on how it been done. So SSC approach in screening listed securities, okay, it will be based on the criteria Quran, Sunnah, Ijma, Qiyas, and other general principle. All right, determine income distribution from Sharia prohibited activities of listed company using Sharia method and criteria set out by SSC, and then classify the security as Sharia compliant if income distribution from prohibited activities is between Sharia tolerable level. So SC as the secretariat of the SSC. So SSC Sharia Advisory Council is being helped by the Securities Commission Secretariat. So they extract the relevant information from the audited financial statement of public listed company. So they have the audited financial statement to identify which one is the number that they want to come out with and to be calculated. And then undertaking Sharia compliance review process to identify contribution from prohibited activities. And then we'll go the reviewing process. We will identify which one is the Sharia non-compliant, and then the percentage from them will be compared to the Sharia financial benchmark set by the SAC. All right, so far okay semua? Okay, then we move to the next topic, which is Sharia compliance review process, which consists of two processes. The first one is qualitative and the second one is quantitative. All right, so qualitative is based on the image or the public perception. It's been identified or it's been conducted by the SAC. However, in quantitative, okay, it will be calculated contribution from non-Sharia activity compared with the turnover and also PBT, profit before tax, of the group. And then we'll also have to calculate the financial ratio. So it's a very much work, or it's a very banyak kerja yang perlu dilakukan. Therefore, we need a help from the Secretariat of SC to help the SAC. However, in qualitative, it must be done by the SAC itself, where they have to discuss, okay, they have to discuss on the criteria, okay, on the qualitative, either to permit or non-permit to be a Sharia compliant or non-Sharia compliant. Okay, so before going further, so you have to understand this concept as a whole first. All right, so in this previously I have mentioned this to you. However, this is to summarize or to make it easier for you to understand. All right, so when we have a one company or 2 or 3, 10 company that want to go want to list their share as a Sharia compliant share, okay, firstly we have to identify either the core activities, the fundamental activities, the main activities of the company is Sharia compliant or non-Sharia compliant. If the core activities is very clear that they're conducting non-Sharia activities, for example, gambling, conventional banking, conventional insurance, there are manufacturing liquor and other non-permissible activities, they won't go to the screening process. Automatically, the status will go Shariah non-compliant for their stock and for their company. All right, are you clear with that? Okay, I hope you are clear with that. Okay, however, if we have a company where core activities is permissible ataupun harus di dalam Islam, okay, for example, we have plantation, construction, okay, and other permissible activities, medical, for example. All right, all of this is a maslahah, demi kebaikan. Jadi, therefore, they have a mixed activities. Okay, therefore they have a mixed activity. For example, one company that the main activities is plantation. At the same time, they also have a subsidiary company that producing a tobacco, producing something that not relate to the Sharia, for example. So this is a subsidiary because they have a mixed activities between permissible and non-permissible activities. So this company will undergo the screening process. Okay, so the result can be either is a Sharia compliant stock and either it is non-Sharia compliant stock. All right, so this is the bigger picture on how to understand how the screening being done. Okay, I hope you understand this. This is the very basic stage on how to do the screening process. All right. When we talk on the qualitative part, okay, we talk on the other, not the quantitative, but the qualitative. So SC will undergo all these criteria first. All right. For example, previously we know the core activities, right? So this one will be screened first in the image of the company itself. All right. So when SC scan or SC do their discussion on this, again, will be based on this criteria. For example, they have a maslahah rajihah. For example, image involve public interest and the mix, sorry ya, salah ejaan tu, mix of activity which do not comply are small and forgivable. For example, hotel benchmark is 20%. And then Sadu Zara'i, okay, Sadu Zara'i, we were menutup pintu-pintu ke kejahatan. Contohnya, activity the benefit are dispute and may lead to haram exposure to the public. Okay, for example, manufacturing of condom. All right, so for this one, this example can be related. When we do a screening process, either it's quantitative, okay, it doesn't have any problem of the company. However, because when we do screening, they have a proof in their financial ratio, and also the business activity is considered as Sharia compliant. However, when it comes to the qualitative part, okay, they are not being approved. Because why? Because the image portrayed by the company itself that producing a condom, okay, is considered as a negative image or negative impact that will lead to the social problem and so on and others lah. So because of the image producing condom, kena bagi tahu jugalah kan. Okay, because of the condom itself is considered as a Sharia non-compliant, even if the company is comply with the financial ratio and also business activity benchmark. And also because we also set a benchmark of 5%, 5% and also 20% for maslahah rajihah. So dia dibenarkan lah, okay, 5% tu dibenarkan. Between maslahah and sadu zara'i, activity that large benefit to the Muslim but at the same time has negative element which portray bad image of Muslim. For example, we have a sell liquor in public transport, and then such image does not have particular benchmark but based on discretion of SAC. Okay, some of the company and also the share will be discussed or will be decided by the SAC itself. Okay, so we move to the quantitative Okay, when we talk on quantitative, we have two-tier quantitative approach, which the first one is business activity benchmark. Okay, the evolution in terms of company activities, product, and industry. And the second one, we have a financial ratio benchmark. Okay, computation set of financial ratio and compare them against specified benchmark. All right. So this is just for your information, just a very general knowledge on Shariah screening, because what you will see today is a revised Shariah screening. Before that, the previous one, okay, is not the same as what we have today. Okay, so as at 2012, they announced the revised screening methodology, which adopt two-tier business and also financial. So will be effective from November 2013. Okay, existing quality. Okay, sorry, yeah. Okay, I'm sharing my screen back. Sorry, due to the technical problem. All right. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the differences between the revised and also the previous Shariah screening methodology. So before 2013, we have a four area, okay, four percentage to be compared. For example, we have 5, 10, 20, and 25. As for after 2013, we have this revised Shariah screening methodology, which consists of 5 and also 20%. As for financial ratio benchmark, we are not applicable for previous, and also for revised, we have 33% should be implemented, right? So what is the impact of the revised Shariah screening methodology? Of course, yeah, it enhanced the robustness of the screening methodology for listed securities, okay, increased competitiveness of the Malaysian Islamic equity market, Islamic fund management industry in the global market. So in the Shariah perspective, you can see that the Shariah will be strengthened in the calculation itself. So the element of Shariah non-compliant will be minimize. So they maximize the Shariah compliant activities. So that will be good, or if we can say that will be the more Islamic than before, because the Shariah percentage is being increased. All right. And then it also expand Islamic capital market international reach as outlined in the capital market master plan 2. And of course, it will be attract wider investor base into its market, because at the same time, they increase competitiveness, okay, among all the institution, and also we will attract more investor because the Shariah part will be strengthened. Okay, so this one is the business activity benchmark that is different between previous and also current. So the previous one, the 10% will be moved to the 5%, and 25% will be moved to the 20%. So by this difference will be easier for the investor, okay, to do the comparison. Not only investor but also the fund manager as well, because they also become the one who in charge, okay, toward the Shariah stock. Okay, we can see here 5% and 20% benchmark, so it will be easier for the market player to do a differentiate between both of these. And also this one is for your information too, as at 2016, okay, hotel and resort is no longer will be in 20% benchmark, okay, because they can duduk bahagian 5% benchmark now, okay, it's no longer here, okay, due to the contribution due to the due to the main purpose of hotel and resort operation was to provide accommodation. So due to that, we will be no longer in 20%, but it will be identified, or it will be calculated based on 5% benchmark if the hotel have any other activities. All right. Okay, and then we also have that one is the business activity benchmark. Then in qualitative, you have to understand that we have two items that we have to calculate. The first one is business activity, and the second one is financial ratio benchmark. So this one is financial ratio. So how we calculate financial ratio? It is cash over total asset. So cash bahagi dengan total asset. Okay, cash will include cash placed in conventional account and instrument, and we also have debt over total asset. Okay, total debt bahagikan dengan total asset. Debt will only include interest bearing debt. Okay, for example, the company they do a placement cash or deposit their money in any conventional banking, or they make a loan, not financing, they make a loan from any financial institution, conventional financial institution. Okay, so that will consider it as a total debt. So this one is to summarize on how to do this calculation. For example, we have TO, PBT, Shariah non-compliant activity, share of profit from Shariah compliant activities, interest income, dividend income. Okay, all of this will be divided into TO and also PBT. For example, TO will be divided into group turnover, and also PBT will be divided into the group PBT. So the percentage will be, the answer of the percentage we will compare to the table just now. This one, okay, will be compared to this benchmark. All right. But first of all, you have to memorize this one, and you have to memorize what is included in 5% and what will be included in 20%. As you can see here, the 5% benchmark ni, kalau kita tengok dia punya activity tu, saya bagi sedikit clue lah kan, activity dia semua ada dalil-dalil yang secara jelas mengharamkan sesuatu perkara itu. Contohnya kita ada kita ada dalil berkaitan dengan conventional banking, iaitu berkaitan dengan riba, gambling, maisir, liquor, kita ada dalil dalam Al-Quran, pork, kita dilarang makan perkara-perkara yang halal, perkara-perkara yang tidak halal. All of this interest income back to riba, tobacco, semua ni adalah perkara-perkara yang jelas Al-Quran. However, 20% ni perkara-perkara yang bersifat ijtihad lah. Alright, so firstly you have to understand this and you have to memorize 5% and 20%. So when you have the answer for the calculation, you know which one of the benchmark you have to be compare. So jangan kita compare salah benchmark. Maksudnya kita dah kira-kira kita compare dengan 20% benchmark, padahal dia termasuk dalam kategori 5% benchmark. Alright, and then we have a financial ratio. So total conventional cash, you have to divide to the total asset to get the percentage of contribution. So dengan answer that we have, we have to compare to the 33%. So same goes to cash and also debt. So please bear in mind that we have to make it Shariah compliant for both of these. For example, total conventional cash is lower than 33%, so it should be Shariah compliant. However, if total conventional debt is more than 33%, for example, they have a 50%, which is more than 33%, so it's still considered as Shariah non-compliant. Okay, so this one have to be compared to the 33, and that also have to be compared to the 33%. So same goes to previous one. For example, if TO is dah kira and you have calculated that it is comply to the 5%. However, BT is not comply. It cannot. So all of that must comply to the benchmark. Okay, so we have a few case study here. So we go through one case study only. So for this example, we have Bina Bina Berhad. Okay, they have their subsidiary, Rock, Cement, Smoke, Sdn Berhad, and also they have their associates, Wood and Nail. However, for Smoke, they're actually contributing for tobacco. Okay, so tobacco is considered as non-Shariah compliant. So when you have a financial statement that audited, you can come out with this TO, which is the group TO is 10 million and profit before tax for this TO stand for turnover. PBT stand for profit before tax. So TO is 10 million, PBT is 5 million. So for this one, you have to come out with the TO for tobacco itself and PBT for tobacco. Okay, so you have to divide divide, right? Based on this, okay, you have to divide tobacco to the group TO, and then you have a 9% result, and percentage of tobacco to the group PBT, 8%. So both of this is considered more than 5%. So when it more than 5%, it's considered as Shariah non-compliant activities. Okay, walaupun ada satu kat sini 4%, tak boleh. Yang ni pula 4%. So kalau 4 consider Shariah compliant. Tapi kalau kat sini 4, kat sini 8, itu consider non-Shariah compliant. So TO must be Shariah, PBT must be Shariah. All of the element and activity must be Shariah compliant. Okay, you can go through all this case study. Alright, and this one is a treatment for Shariah non-compliant securities. Okay, where this we can divide into two. Okay, ini senang cerita macam mana kalau kita tersedar bahawa kita punya saham yang kita pegang tu adalah non-Shariah compliant. Okay, we have the guidance 1 and also we have a guidance 2. Okay, guidance 1, Shariah compliant security subsequently reclassify as Shariah non-compliant. Maksudnya saham kita pegang kita tak sedar, jadi Shariah non-compliant. Yang kedua, unintentionally bought the Shariah non-compliant securities. Kita ni tak buat research dulu, kita beli sahaja. Tahu-tahu yang kita beli tu adalah Shariah non-compliant securities. So what should we do? For the status 1, so for case 1, status change from Shariah compliant to Shariah non-compliant. Okay, so you can read this one. So the main important thing in this slide is that you have to determine which is the announcement date. When is the announcement date? Announcement day. Alright. By that, okay, I will show you the example. Sebab kalau tunjuk yang ni nanti you boleh baca dan fahamkan. Tetapi lebih mudah kalau kita tunjuk contoh terus. Alright. So this one, you can see this is the example. It's very easy to understand. Okay, don't worry. So we have the announcement date which is 30 May considered as the day that SC announced that the stock is Shariah non-compliant. Okay, 30 Mei. SC announced stock A, kita kata A lah, stock A ni dah tak Shariah compliant. However, you only realize that on 30 June, 1 month after the announcement. Okay, and this one is the date where you buy the stock. Alright, so this date is considered Shariah compliant lah. So on the announcement date, okay, please bear in mind that on the announcement date is still considered as Shariah compliant. The day after, the 1st June, is a non-Shariah compliant. Alright, so kat sini, on the announcement date, we can cap the profit. Okay, so 6 ringgit minus 5 ringgit 50 cent, you can keep 50 cent. Alright, so this is the price for 1 unit. Okay, so if you have 1,000 unit, we have 100,000 units. So just calculate by the total unit that you have lah. Alright, so on the disposal price, okay, you have 7 ringgit 50 cent. So profit, okay, you have the profit 7 ringgit 50 cent. Okay, if you deduct deduct the investment cost, that you have a 2 ringgit profit actually. However, you have to understand that the profit that you can get is only on the announcement date, until the announcement date only, that which is a 50 cent only. Okay, the remaining 1 ringgit and 50 cent, you cannot cap it, and you should be channeled to the charitable bodies, which is 1 ringgit and 50 cent. Okay, so kat sini RM1.50 ni perlu diberikan pada charitable bodies. Alright. Okay, ini dia cerita dia kalau dia untung. So kalau dia rugi, apa nak dibuat? So for example, in the investment cost is 5 ringgit. So on the announcement date is 4 ringgit. So you lost. If you sell today, you lost about 1 ringgit. Alright. So investors are allowed to hold until the price of the stock equal to the investment cost. And any dividend received can be used to expedite the disposal. Okay, for example, you receive a dividend. Okay, in time of 1 month that you wait, okay, for the price to go up again to your investment cost 5 ringgit. Okay, you have to wait for that. So you receive a dividend. So dividend can be used to top up. Okay, tak perlulah kita nak tunggu betul-betul sampai investment cost tu jadi 5 ringgit. Any dividend that come along the way for the time, in the time you wait, you can top up as a capital. Okay, so okay, kena tunggu harganya sehingga menjadi 5 ringgit. Okay, jadi apa-apa dividen yang dapat itu boleh dikira juga, okay, sebagai untuk menambah modal. Okay, unintentionally invest in Shariah non-compliant. So you are advised to dispose Shariah non-compliant within a month of knowing a status of stock. So dalam masa 1 bulan. Okay, any gain made in the form of capital or dividend received during of after disposal to be channeled to the charitable bodies. So you cannot get the profit from that, and investors are entitled to keep their original investment cost. If lost, the fund manager have to bear the losses. Okay, so this case for the fund manager if they neglect in doing their business. So this is the summary of what will be discussed on the Shariah screening. So for Shariah screening, I think that's all. So other than that, you can refer to the FIQ justification. Okay, you can always refer back to this slide on the FIQ justification on how this idea is being produced. For example, we have 5%, we have 10%, we have 32%. Okay, you can refer to this slide, okay, to get more explanation on the FIQ justification of this calculation. Okay, I think that's all for now. Thank you for your attention. We'll meet again, inshallah, in the next topic. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.